We are joined by Fontbonne University men's soccer head coach Donnie Alberti. Donnie, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, you guys come in on a hot streak, having won 7 straight games, coming off a SLIAC regular season title. Can you talk a little bit about the role that you guys are on as you begin tournament play this week?
Sure. Well, yeah, we are on a roll. We've played well all year. We played well leading up into conference, and then we had our first conference game, did real well, and then we had our second game, and we had a little bit of a setback. From there, we just kind of built off that, and last 3 weeks we've been kind of rolling.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about your defense? How have you guys been so successful this year on the defensive side of the ball?
Sure. Yeah, we've played well defensively all year. It starts with our goalies. We have 2 keepers that we're equally comfortable with, Jordan Alberici and Tony, and they've done really well. And then we have Greg Ferry, senior leader. He scored a lot of goals, also getting forward. He kind of leads us in the back. And then we have Nick Nelson and Brendan Kopp. They've played well on the wings, allowed us to attack out of that. And we overall just play good defensively. We typically get 8-9 behind the ball. We work hard to win the ball back when we lose it. And it transitions well for our offense when we play that way.
Coach, you just mentioned about Greg Ferry being a great transition player and helping your team go from defense to offense. Ferry has 7 goals this season. Can you talk a little bit more about Ferry's talents and the ability and what he brings in your ability to transition the game?
A lot of it has to do with the type of player he is. He's very smart and very knowledgeable. He gets forward in peak opportunities. He gets in the right position to score goals, and then he's smart enough to be able to get back. And it starts with him. He's just a very good player.
Coach, thank you for joining me today, and we look forward to seeing your team in the tournament this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We are joined by Webster University men's soccer head coach Mike Seiner. Coach, congratulations on making the upcoming tournament.
Thank you.
Coach, one of your strengths this whole season has been your defense. Can you talk a little bit about what goes into the mindset and why you guys have been so successful on the defensive end this fall?
Sure. I think it starts with our sophomore captain, Justin Smits, our captain, all-conference player last year. He kind of he sets the tone for us in the back, sets the tone for us in training. Really hard-nosed guy, plays really, really hard, and I think he kind of sets the tone back there. But I think it's been a group effort. There's been not just 4 guys back there. We've had 6 or 7 guys in the back that have all taken turns playing really, really well. The last 2 games, we've had our 2 starting center backs out. We've had to fill those gaps with a couple more guys, and they've done the job as well. So it's been Justin and Ryan Gonzalez and Juan Garcia and Eric Tate and Cam Killian and Dylan Jen have had most of the time back there. Also, we've got 2 or 3, actually our whole goalkeeping core, very, very good. So we're very solid in the nets there as well. And I think probably the main thing is, we're good in the back. Those back 5 are very, very good. But also, I think it's an entire team that has kind of made a commitment as a unit to defend and play really, really hard and be tough. So it starts from our 2 strikers. Our center mids play very, very hard, very tough. Our wingers, same thing. It's an entire group. So it's not just our backs that are holding opponents down. The midfield is making it a little bit easier on them. The strikers are making it a little bit easier on the midfield. So it's been an entire group effort.
Coach, to continue the thoughts on the team effort offensively this season, you guys have been extremely balanced with 7 players with 3 or more goals this year. Can you talk about how that's benefited you on the offensive attack?
Yeah, it's been a group effort with the team. Majority of the team's freshmen and sophomores. and we got great leadership with our seniors, and I think it's been a group effort in every single game. We play about everybody each game. We don't just sub in a couple guys, so guys know they're going to play. They're engaged, and yeah, it's been somebody different every game. It's been somebody different defensively every game. It's been somebody different on the offensive side making a play. It's been an entire group effort, and we've talked about it from the beginning that if we were going to be good, it was going to take everybody, because we don't necessarily have a team full of seniors or maybe that star player that's going to carry you at times. It's been different people all the time, different starters. Offensively, same thing. It's just been one of those years where our guys have done a great job building a good culture here, really believing in each other, and working as hard as they can for each other to get the result. So it doesn't matter who it comes from. So been one of those years that maybe I've never had this balance of just being able to put anybody in the game and having a feeling that they're going to contribute. They're going to be able to help us, and it's down to the 19th, 20th, 21st guy. So it's been a very, very good team to be a part of this year.
Coach, thank you for joining me today to talk about the upcoming tournament, and we will see you this week.
Thank you.
We are joined by Principia College men's soccer head coach Jess Simnacher as we look forward to the 2017 SLIAC men's soccer tournament. Jess, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Principia College is making their first tournament appearance since 2010. Can you talk a little bit about what that moment was like once you guys finally clinched that spot into the tournament?
Sure. Well, we actually started off really well in the conference, and we knew that we were pretty close. So it was supposed to be coming pretty soon, and that I think that game, both Westminster and us just need a tie. So it's kind of a funny ending to the game. There was 2 minutes where our goalie just had the ball at his foot, and nothing was happening during the game. But after the game, I think everyone was really excited that we finally made it into the playoffs. It's been a long time coming, and we're looking forward to what we can do in the playoffs.
Jess, Principia got off to a bit of a rough start this fall. Can you talk a little bit about how your team was able to rally back and really get to the point where they got a tournament position?
Sure. Yeah, it did look pretty bleak. I think we were 1-6 at one point. But I think we knew 2 things at the very start of the season. The first was that we had some really great ingredients for the season, and then we also knew that we had a lot of work to do. I think when we played Dominican, we were winning 2-1 with 20 minutes left in the game, and I think that really sent a message to our team that we could play with some of the best teams in our region. And then I think that it's really credit to our guys for really working hard and sticking with it. We set up pretty early on that September 30th when we played Spalding, who were the champions last year, that we were going to be ready for that game, and our guys trusted us. They stuck to the course, and I'm really proud of where they're at now.
My final question for you today, Coach. Your freshman Caleb Keller has really carried your offense this season. Can you talk a little bit about what's allowed Caleb to be so successful this year?
Sure. Caleb's had a great season. I think I think Caleb would be the first to tell you that he has had a lot of support from all his teammates. He's got guys who are always working to get him the ball. Caleb just loves to score. It's just where he's free. He loves being on that edge between going fast and being under control. I mean, it's just so fun to watch Caleb play. And when you get an athlete who's playing on the edge like that, and they just love what they're doing, I mean, it's really hard to stop them. So I think Caleb's had a tremendous year.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Coach, and we look forward to seeing you this week.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian.
We're here with Westminster College head coach Adam Galla, talking about the upcoming 2017 SLIAC men's soccer tournament. Adam, thank you for joining me tonight.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
First question I have for you, well, first of all, congratulations on making the tournament. My first question is, looking through your guys' season, you kind of had a couple different swoons during the season, but have been able to bounce back. How were you guys able to come back from those little down periods?
We've had a very, very interesting year, and I think that there's a lot of different factors that have kind of gone into our overall record, and definitely kind of streaky at times. I think first off, we played a super tough non-conference schedule, and that's always a tough thing where you lose tight games, even though you play well. So our non-conference schedule definitely prepared us for the conference season. We were a super young team. Out of my 28 guys I have on the roster, 16 of them are freshmen, 2 are transfers, and another 2 returners didn't actually play last fall. So that means 20 out of my 28 guys were pretty much brand new to the program. So I knew that we were going to have dips and valleys, that it was going to take time for us to gel and mature as a group, and it's something that was just going to take time. So buying into a process with this group in particular was really, really important. I knew that we were close just through games that we played. Like I said, I thought we were competitive in every game. Out of our 9 losses, I believe 6 are by 1 goal. So we're a good side. I think we're a perfect example of a team that doesn't necessarily reflect the record that we have. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we found a way in, and now we're ready to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, you found your way in your last 3 games with a 2-0-1 record. So do you think having to push yourself towards the end of the season, is that going to be something that really helps you going into the conference tournament?
Yeah, for sure. We've been in postseason mode since the last 3 games. So that's a conversation that we had, obviously, with my staff and then with our players and as a group and as a whole, that we knew we needed to pick up a ton of points here in these last 3 games, and we were fortunate enough to get enough to get in. I'm really fortunate as well that I do have 7 seniors, while 2 or 3 of them have basically been hurt all year. I still have another 3 or 4 guys, and they've been there before. They've been through the grind. They know what it takes, and they're not flustered by big game situations. And I also think the fact that we played that tough non-conference schedule and we were close in all those games, we knew we were a good team. So I never felt like we were lacking confidence. We just needed a bounce or 2 to go our way, and we just needed to keep grinding and stay together as a group. And we were fortunate to do that these last 3 games, and it feels now it's just an extension of basically what we've done the last 3 games. So we'll be ready here for Wednesday against Fontbonne.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, and we look forward to seeing the Blue Jays as they look to defend their SLIAC tournament title.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right.